Hi all, I'm your TA Balaji and we will be discussing assignment 3 solution this time. So as usual, we will go over each question one by one. So let's start off. Question 1. The hash include file.h statement is replaced by the entire contents of the file during pre-compilation step. So this by definition is true. That is what happens when you hash include a file. So the answer is true. Question 2. When a program is executed, it means that the operating system transfers its control to the main function in the program. Again, by definition, this is what happens. So, what happens is that the operating system has control and it executes its own set of set of instructions. When it encounters that a particular program needs to get executed, what happens is the control is transferred to the main function of the program. Let's go to question 3, and hence the answer is true here. Question 3. A function that has a valid declaration but not a valid definition will result in a linker error. So let's take an example. So let's say that a function fn is declared in the due course of the program, but however its definition, which is the function definition, is missing the contents of the function. So this does not result in a compile time error, it results in a linker error. So when the object code is being generated, it does not find this function's definition and hence it's a linker error. So the answer is true. Variables that are declared inside the function are called local variables. So again, by definition, this is true. Function parameters are passed using the registers ax, bx and cx only. So this is false. So let's say a function fn of abc is returning its value to x. So it is the parameters or the arguments of the function are passed into the stack. So this is false. Question 6. Local variables and function parameters are both stored in the extra segment. Okay, this is again false, as we have just seen above that local variables and function parameters are stored in the stack segment, right? The register EAX is used to return a value from the callee to the caller. So by default, EAX is the register that is used to return values to the caller. So hence the answer is true. This is false. Yeah, so let's look at question 8. Execution time of an underscore standard call std call function is faster than the same function declared in underscore cdecl call. So what does this how does this happen is because in underscore std call, ret n is being performed at the end of the callee. So what happens in ret n? It performs two functions. One, it returns EIP with the value, the instruction address at which it needs to execute. So that is the next instruction after the caller. So let's say a function is being called here, call. So the next instruction's address is being returned by RET, and also additionally this n performs this operation of ESP equal to ESP plus n, where n is equal to number of bytes into, let's say it's all of type int, so it is number of bytes into the number of parameters passed. Since it is a std call, the number of parameters are fixed, so this can be pre-computed, and this ret, let's say two parameters of type int are only being passed, then ret 8 could be implemented. So in this way, std call is faster than cdecl call. Okay, now let's go to section 2, question 9. Function parameters that are passed to a callee are accessed as stash. So let's take a look at the stack picture when a function is called. So here is the picture wherein EBP main and ret the return address is present. Now to access parameters param 1, 2, 3, etc., you need to perform EBP plus n, and hence the answer is EBP plus n. Global variables are accessed using the absolute address. So you need to give the absolute address to access any global variables inside the function. So going to question 11, below are few statements with respect to ret n, mark the true statements. So what does ret n do? It pops the top of stack into the I instruction pointers, and which is basically what we have discussed here, wherein the next instruction after the, let's say a function is called here, call fn, the next instruction is here. The address of this instruction was initially on top, stored on top of the stack. This is being popped back into EIP so that it can move ahead to the next instruction address, right? So performs an operation equivalent to the instruction add esp command. So what is this? This is basically, let's say there are two parameters of type int being passed. So we know that the function parameters occupy 4 into 2, 8 bytes, right? So this 8 bytes of EBP, or no, this 8 bytes of ESP needs to happen. So ESP is equal to ESP plus 8 needs to happen, so that, let's say two parameters are here, so that ESP goes back to this location, right? So these are the two tasks performed by RETN. In a C program, whenever a function call happens, this pointer is passed to the callee using the ECX. So just like EAX is the default for returning a value from a function, ECX is the default for this point. Let's move on to questions 13 to 25. Okay, so this is the C program and this is the assembly code. Okay, in line 2 of the C program in main, a function call is made which translates into assembly code in the address. Okay, the values of the integers n1, n2, n3 respectively are. So we know that whenever a function is called, the parameters are passed from right to left into the stack. So which is it is 5 is first passed, then 4, then 3. So it is push. So this is 5, 4 and 3. Hence this is the right option. When line 2 of the C program is executed, it translates to the assembly code in the address C206 what is ADDR_1 and value in ESP after the assembly code executes until instruction C206. So call ADDR. So what is the value? The function being called is fnvolve, and that starts at C400 as shown here. So hence ADDR_1 is C400. Now what is on top of the stack? On top of the stack is the return address. So EIP needs to return to this address, as we have seen earlier also. EIP needs to return to this address once this function completes its execution. So this is on top of the stack. Hence this is C207 and this is C400, right? Okay. With respect to the assembly statement in address C400, mark the statements that are true. Okay. So let's go to address C400. C4 push EBP. Okay. Now it sets the context. So EBP sets the context of main before returning from fnvolve. So that is what is the function of the first statement. So as we have seen earlier itself, the stack picture is represented as the return address and Next, EBP of main is passed into the stack so as to reset the context when returning to main, and hence this is the right answer. None of the above is wrong. It sets the context of the local variable space of fnvol is wrong. All registers are passed onto the stack at the start of a function. No, this is wrong. So already that is not a mandatory condition. So the condition we are doing, what we are performing here is we are transferring the EBP of main onto the top of the stack. Question 17. The assembly statement in the address C401. Okay, what is C401? It says move EBP, comma ESP. So what is this really doing is it's first trying to set the local variable space for fnvolve and also anything else. Allocate space for the parameters that are passed to fnvolve. So parameters that are passed to fnvolve were already done previously itself. That is not what is happening in line C402. Allocates local variable space for main. That is not what is happening. Allocates space for the parameters that are passed to main. Now this is also wrong because anything passed back to main is done using the register EAX. So this is the right answer. 19. What is the value of n0 in the statement in the address C402? What is C402 here? C402 is this sub ESP comma n0. So how do we find this out? There was a hint also which says look, you determine n0 using the assembly code. So when you look at this statement, add ESP comma 64, this exactly was the inverse of the statement. So from here you can infer that the n0 is 64. 64 is the answer. Okay. What is n4, n5 and n6? So basic, what is n4, n5 and n6? So we are supposed to find these out. Yeah, so what is happening basically is this is being implemented L into B into len into breadth into height, but what we are supposed to find out is this, what is EBP plus N4. So EBP, when you look at the stack picture, ESP is shifted from here to here by this instruction, which is nothing but sub ESP comma 64. Now after that what happens is EBP is pointing to this location, and EBP plus 8 plus 12 and 16 are the parameters that need to be multiplied, as you can see from this C function call. So hence these values are basically 8, 12 and 16. Yeah. Question 23. The RET instruction pops out the return address to the instruction pointer EIP. So we have discussed RET several times. So this is one of the functions of RET. This is the function of RET basically. So the answer is true. What is the value of N7? So when you do RETN here, as discussed previously also, the inputs are all integer type, and RETN basically has to be 4 into 3, which is 12, RET12, right? So that is exactly what is being done here. RET12, so answer is 12. And the function, when you look at RETN, this can happen only with underscore standard call. So the function is of type underscore standard call, and this is true. Let's move on to this C++ question. The above program will result in a segmentation fault when executed. What is a segmentation fault? Segmentation fault occurs when a memory location that does not belong to the program is inadvertently accessed. So inadvertently accessed is a keyword. So when you look at this program and when you look at the objects which are being created, no, you will not notice that anything is inadvertently accessed. Let's go over the execution of the program once to verify this. So what is happening here? An object is being created of the type CLS test, okay, and another object, pointer object is being created. So what is this object? Dot function member underscore 2 of 5 do. So this is being passed to underscore 2. So basically 5 is being passed here, and as we know that a, so here we have set the object dot set val of 3. By performing this we have set a equal to 3, and then by calling this we have done 3 plus 5 equal to 8. And next, when we call function member underscore 1 with the argument 5, we perform 5 plus 2 equal to 7, right? So this is 8 and this is 7, and as we can see that there's no nothing is inadvertently accessed, so it is true here. It is false here. So nothing is there is no segmentation fault. And what is n1 and n2? Yeah, so the output of the program will be this, and n1 and n2 are 8 and 7 respectively. 8 and 7. So that is what is given here. So thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the forum. Thank you very much.